Okay.
Well, on the subject of your voice, since we're already here, I was going to ask, you were one of these guys, I imagine, probably smoked in the shower. You always had a cigarette.
Pretty much, always. I'd have multiple ashes. I must have smelled horrible. Because I smell it now. I never smelt it. I couldn't smell it. I was immune to it.
Yeah.
I had cigarettes burning, and I'd have a cigarette burning in separate ashtrays in different rooms of the house. This place probably was just awful.
So you give up the cigarettes, but I would imagine that they I don't want to say added as if it was a positive thing, but they certainly probably lent a character to your voice. Personally, I think you're singing better than ever, and you're looking better than ever too. By the way, so I guess the question is, what impact did quitting cigarettes have on your voice?
I think because I'm older now too. My voice is pretty much what it is. You know what I mean? So it made me doing my job easier. It's a lot easier getting up and doing these shows, especially at my age as well. And it being easy, usually it gets harder as you get older and doing that shit. It's just a lot easier. And it's like a lot easier to sing too. It's like, I'm not like this trip that I did this year. I did not once have a issue with my throat or anything. And so it was, it was good. And so I think not smoking and, then the whiskey, that's, you get the whiskey voice and the fucking cocaine drip and the whatnots. But
there you go, writing lyrics again.
Yeah. Now I just have Nespresso and water. And once in sound check, I have tea, and I hate tea, but I drink it at sound check. So like,
wow.
But I also found this I'll tell you later, just because it's
true,
like
go
some
now.
of the Sarzos, it's throat spray, CBD stuff, but I don't want to pimp it yet because I want them to make sure they hook a brother up with the stuff. So I was mentioned about it. I go, yeah, I'll get what you got for me, because they heard that I used this stuff. I used a couple sprays in my throat every day for the run, and not once did I have any issue. Usually all of a sudden one day it'll be like, I'll have something weird, like I'll still have to be Lemmy for 2 days, and then it'll be back and be fine. I won't be sick or nothing.
Right.
It just all of a sudden disappears for a minute.
Yeah.
But if I bail it out, I get a Lemmy. It's just I do a raspy show for a night, or maybe half the next night, and then it's back. But this time I did not have one problem. And we did 12 shows in a row, a day off, 11 shows in a row, so it was like a bam, bam, this run. So, and not once I had any problem with my voice. So
that's amazing. That's the proof right there that this has been a positive 6 years.
Yeah. He's looking great. He's sounding great. Okay. So we're just going to jump all around because that's what we do.
All right.
We're talking about, getting rid of bad habits and everything. You alluded to some of your other recreational endeavors.
I just thought he was writing lyrics. I didn't know it actually. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I was.
Yeah. His past is pretty well documented, and one of the things I've always loved about Taime, he's never tried to hide it either. So, what prompted you to get clean, and how many times did you try, and why did it stick this time?
And what advice could you provide for someone who might be, thinking about that they need to fucking do that?
Fucking nowadays, it's pretty fucking easy. And, I'm so glad I've been sober for the last 6 years in terms of drugs. I mean, I wasn't a drug addict. I was a chain smoker. I smoked like a motherfucker, and that's what really fucked up my health. I drank when I worked. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I drank and just did all of it together. And the cocaine, I probably did a little bit more coke than I should have done it leading up to there, but I wasn't a coke addict. Well, maybe I was, I don't know, but I didn't I wasn't like, God, I need to get some coke. or booze. Oh, I need to have a shot in the morning. I was never that, but it fucking yeah, give me half a pack of smokes and I'll fucking chain smoke for that. And that was what hurt me the most, according to my doctor. See, I ended up in a hospital, so we went out there for M3, and I was just like, we did a few shows. We did a show at the Whiskey. We flew out to LA, flew out to New York, did a show took a red eye, flew out the next night, played with Guns, I think, in Long Island, then did a Bowery, and then we did a Delaware show. Then I was just like, yeah, I was just not feeling well. And I was like, I thought I had maybe like walking pneumonia or something. I was like, I laid down in the hotel and it was like, I couldn't breathe. Then I stood up and I could breathe. Felt like I was drowning. It was just weird. And then, so we went down to Maryland from Delaware, and then I went to the doctors, and then like all this shit. So I had congestive heart failure. That's what it was. With my heart working weird, and it sits right between your lungs. So it was fluid in my lungs. So when I laid back, the fluid went back, and it was just like scary shit. So that's what caused me to quit all the shit. I just quit everything. They're just like, I had a pack of smokes when we were at M3 when I got out of the hospital and went to the hotel, and it's like had my pack of smokes and my lighter. Fucking never did it. And when I got back to LA, I had to go in for heart doctors over at Cedars, and fucking never lit up. They put me on one of those patches.
Yeah.
So that kept me, and I just didn't smoke. And once you got past that thing, and that's the main thing. And for drugs, it was drugs and the alcohol were easy. You know, the cigarettes was my crush.
Wow.
Yeah.
But, you know, cocaine and cigarettes, fucking quitting that shit saved me bucks. That was right when smokes went up from like $4 a pack to $9. And then cocaine's cocaine. So booze is free. I come home from tour with like 8 gallons of Jack Daniels. I have Jack Daniels that lasts me throughout the year, and part of the next year as I accumulate more. I had a closet just had Jack Daniels.
That raises a question. So you quit drinking, right? You're sober.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So your closet's full of Jack Daniels?
I gave it away.
I was gonna say,
it's all housewarming, birthday gifts. It's all like, we'll bring a bottle of Jack. Now it's gone because I don't collect it anymore.
Right. Man, what a fucking story. What a great.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're like the embodiment of the rock and roller, and that's why you're one of my favorites. I've just always loved the image, the lifestyle, the lyrics, the music. But I love the fact that at some point you snapped and you chose to still be with us, and you look happy, and I can tell you're just living a better life, and I'm glad you're still around.
Well, thank you very much.
When you did that,
it feels good to be here still.
When you did the M3 show, you couldn't go on, and Jason came out and sang some Faster Pussycat songs. Is that right?
I did Vain.
I don't know who you. Yeah, you did it. I was in a hospital. I wasn't even there. You did it, and Danny did one. I think Cher did.
Cher did. Yeah, Cher did maybe 2. Yeah.
I think Ted Poley did something. I don't. Yeah. You guys saved my ass. I was fucking in the hospital with fucking electrodes on me and shit, just going, what the fuck.
Well, the bad part of that is, I mean, there's a lot of good because shit, I got to stand where Taime stands. And I had a great time, but here's the deal. The bad is I know that I'm not the only one who was like worried about you the whole fucking time.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was
everyone was weird. Like, everyone was like,
I had in touch with nobody. I was like, except for like, until finally afterwards, I got a hold of Kimberly. And what they told me when I was in the hospital is like, you had heart failure, you're diabetic now, and you probably have lung cancer, and you probably have kidney cancer. So that's what I left the hospital thinking, that I have lung cancer and kidney cancer. So my job was to get home to LA, get a heart doctor, and get an oncologist.
Yeah.
Luckily it turned out that I didn't have any cancer. Right. What they thought was in my lungs was the fluid that I told you about doing that. And what with my kidney was just a bump. Everybody, as they grow through life, get bumps and shit grows all inside you. So and that's what that was. Is it's just a growth on my kidney, just a little bump. Yeah, that was nothing. So
That's
that
amazing.
was And who told me I didn't have cancer was fucking Farrah Fawcett's doctor. That I was watching the Farrah Fawcett 20-year anniversary of her death, or 25.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, there's my doctor. And he's like the doctor you always remember that says you do not have cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. Me and my parents and my brothers all went to the same high school that Farrah Fawcett went to. We're both
you did?
Yeah, my family's from Corpus Christi, Texas, where she's from.
Yeah.
We all went to W.B. Ray High School down there. Yeah.
There you go.
So
I had her oncologist, and he told me I didn't have cancer. So
very good.
That's a good day right there.